Hey everyone, this is Josh from before. I'm here with the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Kabal. I hadn't done any reviews in a few weeks, so I thought I'd pick this guy up. He was kind of appealing to me, even though I'm not normally all in on the Mortal Kombat line. Uh, Kabal is like one of those characters who, like back in the day, he showed up in like I think Mortal Kombat 3, and we were like kids at the time, and there was no internet, and there weren't like long involved storylines in the Mortal Kombat games beyond just like this guy's Kabal, here's like two sentences about him, and maybe if you play through the story as him, there's like two extra sentences. They're just a cool looking like avatar, and then you put whatever sort of like personality into it, that you want. They weren't these long running characters that had all this mythology behind them. So that's kind of like what Kabal represents to me. Just one of those, you know what I mean? They were 2 games in, they just kept throwing weird looking guys out there, and that was all you needed to just like be into a character. Now, I mean, he showed up in the movie, which was, I loved that he was in the movie, but whatever his like character or backstory is, I don't know. I don't really care. He's a cool looking guy in a mask with some like fireplace pokers. That's Kabal. All right, here he is. He's nice and hefty, feels sturdy. One thing that kind of appealed to me about this figure is after seeing like a lot of video game characters from McFarlane, they have this certain look that I generally don't care for, and I'm going to do my best I can to kind of like articulate that problem, which is when they take like a video game character and that's modeled after pre-existing digital assets that in modern gaming there's especially like fighting games, I think there's a strong motivation to cram as many textures into a character model as possible, just to kind of show off the graphics, because fighting games don't have huge environments to show off the graphics. You got to put it in the characters. So when they make a figure based off of a character design like that, they go for this attempted photorealistic look in some of the textures. Like you can see it here in his shirt, and I also grabbed, to show this off as well, this Deathstroke from Arkham Origins, which I really like this Deathstroke. He looks great. But again, it's this very, very small patterns of textures that almost look mechanical. They look like they were generated by like a TurboCAD machine. You know what I mean? Like they just don't have... They were going for the fidelity to the original sculpt and didn't just take some liberties and do what would make the best looking figure. So anyway, that's a long way of getting around to saying I feel like they're toning that down a bit. It's there in this shirt, but a lot of the rest of these, they don't have that deep and really fine texture kind of printed into it. So it just looks better, I think. The scale of the figure, isn't at odds with the scale of the textures, and it just feels, when you look at them from this far away, it's just easier to look at. If that makes any sense. If not, you can let me know. So just looking at this guy, I don't love this hair. And I think that's just the design of the Mortal Kombat 11. I liked his original mask a little bit more, like when he first showed up on the scene, like in those older games. But I really I love the layers of business on his like chest. He's got obviously this like tunic or shirt or whatever, underneath here, but then he's got this breastplate, an extra layer of metal piece strapped over the breastplate, then 2 tubes connected to this shawl kind of thing around his shoulders. It just creates a really great sense of depth. You know what I mean? His chest feels like it's way deep down behind a lot of different layers of business, which works really well for his whole his sort of life support thing. Let's just start moving him around. The head's got good clearance despite having these hoses around him, which I really like. You can see if you move his head forward a little bit too much, you can see into the neck there. But that does give him, I think, more range, that they've cut that top of that neck so low, so I'm not going to complain about that. It does give him better range. Let's see, his arms are a little stiff, right? Oh, well, I just popped something off on accident, but I'll get to that in a second. He's a little stiff. He's a little stiff, but he can still get his arms up all the way here. And this, this shawl thing over his shoulders, his arms get all the way up despite that. This is soft material. That works really well. That's twisting from the shoulder. This, he also has underneath, this is where his bicep cut is, which if you just saw, spoiler, when that popped out of there on me, but it popped right back in easily. So that's nice. I love his just like dead looking skin tone, and he's got just some, he's just got nasty looking skin, like he's just kind of necrotic and just barely alive. I'll spin this guy from the bicep as well, just because we're going through it all the way around. Double elbows. Wow. I just shot that across the room. All right, so the bicep's a little loose. Yeah, that bicep's definitely loose. Come on. I got to take a point away there because that straight up popped out with almost no effort twice now. Double elbows. Ball joints on the wrists are a little loud. They're tucked up under the glove in this part, which looks good, but you know how we feel about the ball joints. They make the arms slightly too long. Yeah, see, I can't even move this arm without this popping out. That's, good Lord. Yeah, the ball joints, you can see they just kind of add a little extra length to the arms that throws the look off a little bit. It's just, and they just look ugly. They should sculpt the articulation into the wrist and not add that ball joint. So he's got a diaphragm, and he's not going to have full rotation there because these tubes are connected to his back. So when you turn him, you know what I mean, you can see where that gets tight. But he does have that, and I'm sure he's got a waist too. There's a waist under there as well, but again, the tubes are going to get in the way, so no, very little forward movement in the torso. Not a ton in the back either because of this unit, his life support unit. But just, like the depth, I love, like this wrinkle of this fabric is coming up here, but it's underneath that joint. It's just the little things like that that really take the look up a notch. Still, this sort of tunic thing hanging down from his waist is pretty soft enough that you can still do this thanks to these cuts going all the way up. No rotation in the hips, but he does have a thigh cut. So those of you who are always begging for thigh cuts will be happy. Double knees work. Not that don't know, is Kabal known for his famous jumping prowess? I don't know. Love these boots, these sort of not quite buccaneer, but kind of just tall, knee-high boots that look like they're leather that are a million years old. Oh, they're not boots, sorry. They're just like shin guard things that go over the boots. He's got straps. Was he using Velcro straps on his shoes? In the Outworld, they've evolved beyond the need for laces on their shoes. They just use Velcro. Shao Kahn has outlawed laces. Yeah, I mean, this is a good looking figure. I don't love the way this hair meets the mask. That's just the Mortal Kombat 11 design. That's the biggest thing for me, but it's just good colors, good sculpt, good design. Most of I kind of find most of the Mortal Kombat 11 character designs to just be a little overboard, and some of them don't. They've like ironed out the details that made that character design appealing to me in the first place. Kabal is pretty close to just the way he originally appeared. So the big differences are the mask. His head kind of is the main, to me, the most noticeable. Because he used to have two little more like little protruding sort of weird bug eye kind of things. Looks like a weird like mechanical mosquito kind of. But let's get his weapons out. He has got two of these things, which I don't know what they were called. Hang on, what are these? I looked it up. These are called hook swords, which is actually like, I was expecting a way less obvious name than hook swords. I think they look like fireplace pokers. You would think somebody that grew up with Ninja Turtles would have maybe put some effort into learning the names of some of these Eastern style weapons, but I didn't. Yeah, he's got two grip hands, which I didn't mention earlier, but that's all right, I guess, since he does have two accessories. Even though I would like, for a fighting game, you know, the character to maybe have hands to like throw punches and stuff, you know, like do the kinds of fighting moves, or it'll just, you know, gesture hands, like one fist and one grip, or I don't know. You know what I'm getting at. Extra hands would be nice. This guy looks really good. I like it. Here he is with Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. Here he is next to a 6-inch Marvel Legend. You can just see how, by the way, this Marvel Legend is dog shit, man. Look at this. This thing is so bad. I can't even, I'm not going to get into it. It's terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody that it says like, why is Todd doing 7-inch? I mean, bro, that's night and day, the difference. Like, because they look better. That's why. It just looks better on your shelf. It looks better right next to anything else. I know it throws some of you off that are into the 6-inch big time, but I mean, dude, come on. There he is. That's Kabal. I actually was up in the air on whether or not this guy was going to be a keeper, but I'm going to hang on to him. I like it. You know, make up your own mind, but I liked it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.